What if you could win at anything you try?
Yeah!
We'll head to the California coast to break the secret to a perfect strike wide open. Everyone loves money, and I head to the Sunshine State to show you how to cash in with 3 simple steps.
What did I tell you?
Thanks, Sal.
Alcatraz held some of the biggest bank robbers ever, but I'm there for a money game that will blow you away.
Come on, I was lucky.
And it's Viva Las Vegas, where the Black Widow racks them up and reveals how to run the table.
8-ball in the corner pocket.
My name is Sal Piacente, and I know every con in the book. People hire me to show them how to spot a hustle. From coast to coast, I'll break down and reveal how to win at games, contests, and tricks. From the boardwalk to the carnival, I've got all the angles. Game on, America. We kick things off at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, a place filled with a huge variety of games and rides, including the Louvre Carousel. This handmade merry-go-round is a national landmark that's been spinning around for over 100 years. But once the ride stops, it's time to play at one of their many midway games, including this classic, Break-A-Plate.
All right, so you got 2 balls, you gotta break 2 plates in order to win.
The rules are simple. 2 tries, break 2 plates, you win. And seriously, who doesn't love breaking stuff? But most of these folks are coming up empty. Why? Because it's harder than you think.
Ready?
What makes it a challenge is the 2-plate requirement. Sure, breaking one of these plates might not seem too difficult, but breaking 2 in a row with only 2 balls, that takes technique and skill.
Come on, I could throw better than that.
Hey, guys.
That's where I come in. Time to break down how to win the big prize.
Let's do it. Yeah. Cool.
Court, you should have stepped up.
Step on this?
Yeah, like a softball pitcher.
Don't let this game bust your chops. It's time to break down Break-A-Plate. Most people walk up to this game and think that to break one of these plates, you need to throw hard and fast. But that's a huge mistake. Trust me, these plates aren't exactly Grandma's good china. Made of super thin plastic, they're especially designed to shatter upon any impact.
That's how you do it, but you gotta get 2.
So how do you up your chances of going 2 for 2? First, you gotta step up. The operators put a foot shelf there on purpose, but there's no rule to keep you off of it. Standing on that shelf puts you an entire foot closer to those plates. It gives you a higher vantage point for making the throw. Accuracy is the key, so throw smarter, not harder. To increase your accuracy, an easy controlled underhand toss is the way to go. But it's important to remember that unlike an overhand throw which travels in a straight line, a ball tossed underhand will have an arc to it. That's the reason I always say, aim high. And when I say aim high, I mean aim at the top edge of the plate. That way, the natural arc of your underhand throw will nail the plate and not the rail. Also, because an underhand throw has a low release point, I always go for the bottom row, not the top. But that's not all. When you look from the front, all the plates look pretty much the same. But if you look from the side, you'll notice one difference. Some are standing up straight, others are leaning forward. Never go for a plate leaning forward. Those loose plates will only move backwards when hit, absorbing and therefore wasting some of the energy of your throw. The more secure plates are wedged into the rail better, so they have nowhere to go and will be easier to break. So there it is. You don't need a big league arm to be a big shot at Break-A-Plate. Just get up on that foot shelf and go with an easy, accurate underhand throw. Aim for a plate on the bottom row and make sure it's standing up as straight as possible. Do that, and you'll be cleaning up the prizes while they clean up after you. From the west coast of America to the west coast of Florida, a hot spot for spring break, water sports, and all kinds of fun in the sun. But when I'm looking for a break from the heat, I head to Celebration Station in Clearwater, Florida. They have all sorts of games here, including this bad boy. Usually they have their booths filled with tickets, but it's a lot more fun playing with cold, hard cash. This is the money machine. The wind in this machine is swirling at over 60 miles per hour. When you're in there, it's like standing in the middle of a tropical storm. But don't sweat it. I've got the goods to make this game a breeze. With hundreds of $1 bills flying around this booth, there are a few general rules the operator has to put in place. No pinning the money against the walls, no catching in your clothes, no grabbing at the cash below your knees.
You cheated, so you can just dump all that back in there for me.
But every operator is different. So first, check out what's on the sign. If it's not posted, it's fair game. This machine is a lot harder than you think, so you need to take advantage wherever you can. In fact, the average take is only around 18 bucks, but many people can't even make that happen.
9, 10.
25!
Nice.
Woo!
But check out Edward Moneyhands over here.
Yeah! Woo!
He's coming out of the booth with fat stacks in his mitts, and that's no surprise. While the others were in the machine, I grabbed this guy to give him the lowdown on collecting cash. Number one, the goggles. They're gonna give you a pair of goggles. I know it's there for your safety, but it's also there to mess up your vision. You can't catch what you can't see.
Right.
So pretend your head is on a swivel. Look around. Also, your clothing, make sure it's tucked in. You don't want the air to get underneath anything to blow it up. And you don't want anything that can restrict your movement.
Okay.
Now you're ready for action. But you need a strategy, and I'm gonna teach you the winning formula that none of these guys have. It's game on in Clearwater, Florida, where it's time to take down that machine and walk away with tons of cash. Before you enter that booth, plan your attack. You gotta make the wind your friend. You may think that the wind in this thing is your enemy, but there's no reason why you can't use it to your advantage. After all, if it can blow the cash away from you, it can also blow the cash right into your hands, as long as you know my fishing net technique. You want to use an open hand. Don't close your hand. In that situation, your hand is creating a wind block that will cause the wind to deflect off your hands and blow the bills right out of your grip, just like this. Here's what you want to do. Open your hand. The air will blow through your hand. Make your hand act like a fishing net by spreading your fingers apart. Gaps between your digits allow the air to pass through while the bills get trapped. Now, once you grab it, where do you put it? Many people make the mistake of stuffing the money under their arms. Big mistake.
I'm gonna be a millionaire.
This is what we call the T-Rex. Once they catch the money and put it in their arm, now they're moving like this. They caught a lot of money. But guess what happens? When you lift your arm, green is gone. When you catch it, put it right in your pocket. If there's no rule against it, the best strategy is to stuff the money you grab into your pockets. In this game, you have to think on your feet and use them to grab more cash. You see those bills collecting on the floor? Because of the rules, you're not allowed to bend over and pick them up. But there's no reason you can't channel your inner Bruce Lee and kick them back into play. Are you stepping on cash? If you are, guess what? That's money that's trapped that cannot circulate. Can't circulate, can't be caught. Kick that money into the airstream to bring it up.
Okay.
Now that I've provided him with some tips, let's see our guy put it all together. Good luck. So remember, head on a swivel so you can grab strategically. Use the fishing net technique, stuff the cash in your pockets, and use your feet to free the dough.
Yeah!
Do that, and you'll walk away from this baby with pockets full of cash.
64, 65, 65. Thanks, Sal.
From a lesson on how to make money to a place where many of the most notorious people who stole money ended up behind bars. Let's head to San Francisco Bay in Northern California. Behind me is Alcatraz. They call it the Rock. Infamous stick-up men like George Machine Gun Kelly and the Dean of American Bank Robbers, Harvey Bailey, used to call this place home. And it's the perfect place for me to show you a fun game that you can try on your friends without landing in a slammer. This is the 3-bill switcheroo. Here's a game with 3 $20 bills. Each bill is different, correct? How can you tell one bill from the other?
Serial numbers,
Right, you can tell one bill. But there's no serial number on the back. I'll tell you what, David, just touch one bill.
Touch one bill. This one?
That's the one you want to touch?
Okay.
Take it, and I want you to write your name right on front of it.
All right.
If you turn it face down, you can't see through it, can you?
No. Can you?
No, not at all. I want you to take these bills and mix them up.
Mix them up.
We're going to spread them back out onto the table, just like they were. Now, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to try and guess which one is your bill. You have 2-to-1 odds against me. I'll bet you I can find out which one has your name on it.
All right.
So if I had to guess which bill it is, I think it's going to be right there.
Oh, come on, that was lucky.
Nope, it wasn't luck. I just paid attention to a small detail, a very small detail. These are crisp, brand new $20 bills. We all know that on the front of every bill there's a serial number, but none on the back. That said, did you ever really look at the back of a 20? Here, go ahead, take a look. Get even closer. See it? Just to the left of the 20 on the lower right is a tiny number called the plate number. This is used to identify which single plate out of hundreds was used to print that bill. I made sure that the bills I gave them all had different plate numbers. That way, when he picks his bill, I can see which plate number it is. Once I have that number, I can easily pick out his bill. That's my kind of game. A simple trick that will keep your friends tied up for a long time trying to figure it out. Now we head east, where back in the day when the circus came to town in New York City, the elephants had to march from New Jersey through the Lincoln Tunnel to get to the Big Top. And just outside the tunnel in Jersey is the city of Hoboken, home to a locals-only bar, the Pilsner House and Beer Garden, a perfect place for one of my classic games. It's called the circus card trick. The biggest part of pulling off a card trick is finding the right kind of person to go against. So I leave a deck of cards on the bar. People can't keep their hands off it. Some shuffle or play a quick game. All I'm waiting for is for someone to come by that has a little gamble in them.
Low card buys the next round.
Yeah, okay.
These guys look like they'll play along.
Aha!
That was good. That was good, guys.
Good. Thank you.
Matter of fact, can I show you something?
Yeah.
Shuffle the deck.
Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. Reach in here and just pick out any card you want. Show your friends, but don't show me. Put it on top. Give the deck a cut.
Yeah, okay.
Give another one. Give another cut. Good. I'm going to take the cards, I'm going to turn them onto the table. I'll bet you the next round, the next card that I turn over is your card.
You bet me?
It's game on in Hoboken, New Jersey. Can I show you something? I'm the guy who knows all the tricks in the book, and I'm about to wow this group with one of my favorites, the circus card trick. Reach in here and just pick out any card you want. Show your friends, but don't show me. My guy picked the card, give the deck a cut. Then he cut the deck a few times. Now I have to figure out which card is his. I'll bet you the next round, the next card that I turn over is your card.
You bet me? Okay.
Deal? The next card that I turn over is gonna be
Oh, no.
your card. So how did I do it? Well, there are 3 simple steps to pull off the circus card trick. Step 1, you didn't see it and they didn't notice it. But as he shows the 9 of hearts to his friends, I take a peek at the card on the bottom of the deck. That's what I call the key card, the card I'll use to find their card. Watch again. Did you catch me sneaking a look? Well, I did. While they're distracted looking at their card, I take a peek at the bottom of the deck. Now, all I need to do is make sure my 2 of diamonds ends up on top of their 9 of hearts. And check it out. For step 2, he's gonna put those 2 cards together. The deed is done. Game over. He just put the key card and his card on top of each other. The rest of the cuts are just for show. Get another cut. Here's how it works. I'll use a different color card back for the key card. That starts on the bottom of the deck and the group's card goes on top. After the first cut, their card and the key card are together. It doesn't matter how many times the deck is cut. Virtually every time, these cards will stay together. Now that it's practically a sure thing, it's time for my favorite part of this game, the old ego trap. I let them think I messed up and propose a friendly wager that I can't lose. I'm gonna take the cards, I'm gonna turn them onto the table. For step 3, I deal the cards face up until I see the key card, the 2 of diamonds. I know the next card is their card, the 9 of hearts, but I keep going so they think I have no idea what their card is. My new friend's confidence is high, his ego takes over, and that's when I make the bet.
I'll bet you the next round, the next card that I turn over is your card.
Saying that makes them think I'm talking about the card still in my hand.
You bet me?
But I'm not.
Okay.
Deal?
And I love the look on their face when I reach over and turn their card face down.
The next card that I turn over, your card.
Next, we head to the desert for some serious fun in Las Vegas. If you're into games, this is your town. We're not just talking about cards and slots. All kinds of games hold their national championships in Vegas. You got Rubik's Cube, Dodgeball, and the barroom classic, pool. Today, I'm here where the pool never stops, the Las Vegas Q Club. We're racking them up and breaking down 8-ball, Vegas style. You know the rules. 7 striped balls, 7 solid balls, 1 8-ball. Rack them up and break them. Then, decide which balls you want to play, solids or stripes. To win, be the first to get all your balls into the pockets, then call your shot,
8-ball, corner pocket.
and sink the 8-ball. You've probably played this at your local bar, and you might even be pretty good. But there are a few things anyone can do to up their game, and I have just the person to show us. Meet Jeanette Lee, AKA the Black Widow. She's a Hall of Famer and one of the most dominant people to ever play billiards, with more than 30 titles to her credit. Together, we're gonna help you reign supreme on the felt.
Jeanette, when I play pool, the first thing I notice, people make a big mistake by not chalking up enough.
I think the most common mistake is the way that they chalk. A lot of times they end up doing something like this, and all it does is move the chalk around the tip. And what we want to do is chalk to the side at an angle, and as I'm chalking like this, I'm turning my cue stick.
Make sure you
as
get all
I'm
the
chalking.
sides.
Right.
And you want to do this after every shot because just like a climber chalks up their hands for a better grip, a pool player chalks up the leather tip of a cue to create friction. The chalk keeps the tip of the cue stick from slipping on impact, giving you a more precise shot. But chalking is just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. Before you even hit that ball, you need to have the proper stance.
So with the stance, the first thing I want to do is create kind of a tripod, and I get down to shoot. My bridge hand, my head, my shoulder, my elbow, my wrist, and my right toe are all on one plane.
So check it out. From that shooting line, Jeanette puts her left foot out diagonally while her right leg remains extended directly behind her bridge hand, forming a perfect triangle and giving her a stable platform to shoot from.
That takes us right into the grip. I want to take any tension out of this hand so I can take a nice slow backswing, strike the ball, and follow through with my upper arm never moving at all.
Like in so many other games, that smooth, locked-in pendulum motion that Jeanette uses is key to consistently hitting the ball with control. And now that you know what to do with one hand, let's focus on the other, the bridge.
There's 2 basic bridges. There's the open V bridge, where the thumb is rested just above the index knuckle. And so the cue stick rests on the V. Now for a closed bridge, I actually put the thumb on the middle finger knuckle, same V, except now I loop this up above it, giving me 3 balance points. I like to use the open bridge because your sighting is better. So closed bridge we generally use for power.
So use the open V bridge for the majority of your shots and use the closed loop for the power shots. Now for the most important shot of the game. Game on, America. We're back in Las Vegas where the Black Widow, Jeanette Lee, has given us the inside scoop on proper stance, grip, and bridge technique. Now it's time to break down the break.
We want a solid hit on that head ball. The cue ball has to, if it starts from there, it should have a solid hit on the 1 ball, allowing all the energy to be transferred to the rack and then getting the nicest spread.
When it comes to breaking, listen to Jeanette and go for that lead ball with the straight shot if you're an amateur player. Don't get creative by trying to hit the balls closer to the 8 ball, because if you do, there is a much greater chance that you will scratch when that cue ball ricochets off the side.
Honestly, most of the pros will still go for that solid hit on the 1 ball.
But all of this is just the basics. The real strategy in this game comes after the break. Let's see what the Black Widows got. Jeanette, after the break, most people go for the easiest shot. In this case, that's the 13.
The pros, they may not necessarily take the easiest shot. They always make a plan first. So now I'm going to work backwards from the 8.
Think of it as a maze. You have to figure out the best way to get your 8 ball home.
All right, I have my plan. I'm going to shoot the 10.
Okay.
Come over here, shoot the 12, and then come around here, shoot the 13, go down to the end rail, make the 11.
So remember proper technique. Chalk up, get into a triangle stance, use the open V bridge for the majority of your shots, hit with a slow back swing, and most important, plot your path to victory. If you can do all that consistently,
8 ball in the corner pocket.
the next time you find yourself at the table, it'll be game on.